challenge this poison, things just get worse.
There's no such thing as gender
Whole
ideology.
institutions become captured.
No.
And of course, as always happens when the left gets the upper hand, those who fail to conform are persecuted, chased out of their jobs for saying that a man can't be a woman, scolded for rejecting that they're beneficiaries.
Thanks for coming on. I think I know you well enough to call you Andrew. Let's, I suppose, start with the genesis of this. What was giving you concern from what you heard from the Home Secretary? Morning.
Morning. I decided to listen to the whole speech, and bit by bit I realised that the Home Secretary's approach to it appeared to be picking on vulnerable people, and so I decided to challenge that, and I think in a very moderate way, really.
Your concern was, I understand, Andrew, gender ideology. Is that right?
Well, it's this term that's thrown around in order to tell people, gender ideology apparently is a threat to everyone, to children, to women, to everything. It doesn't even exist. I mean, it's not a thing. Gender ideology, that term is used as a way of attacking trans people by people who don't want to be accused of being anti-trans. It's as simple as that. And I don't like hearing that kind of terminology being used by a Home Secretary.
So we all heard on the tape, you start to make your feelings known, not, I would argue, not particularly loudly or vociferously. You're sort of just talking aloud, really, musing aloud. Andrew Boff, what happened next?
Yes, I mean, actually, I'm a bit disappointed with myself because it wasn't that loud, really. I should have put more welly into it. As soon as I'd made my comments, I was asked to leave, and I said, "Why should I leave? I paid for my tickets," and then I was basically escorted out. So that was it.
And did I see video footage of you then, the police taking you away, not out of the main hall, not out of the speech, but away from the convention centre, or have I misread that video?
Yes, they did. I'm not criticising the police. They have a very difficult job to do. And in those circumstances, they're trying to protect the safety of everybody in the conference. So
okay.
I thought they behaved very professionally.
OK, so that's taken on board and that's noted. How long have you been a Conservative?
I actually lied about my age and joined at the age of 15. I think it was only 16 you could join then. So 50 years.
How many conferences you been to?
I think it's 47. I can't remember. Every single one since Maggie's first conference, 75. But there was 1 year I didn't go because my mother had passed away. But apart from that,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Conference.
Yeah, indeed. Ever fallen foul of the authorities before, Andrew?
Oh, all the time, really. Yes.
Ever been ejected from from speeches before?
No, not at all. No, I don't know if they've just suddenly realised I'm a wrong 'un or something. But no, never before. And look, on the heckling front, I chair the London Assembly, all right? So occasionally I may have to do that. I may have to ask for people to be removed from a public gallery. But, if somebody does a little bit of a heckle, for goodness sake, we're in a democracy and people are occasionally allowed to chat. It's when it becomes disruptive. And I really don't think I was disruptive.
What do you make of the state of the party at the moment?
I think we're heading for a victory next year. But we need to sort the essentials out and start focusing on the important things and just get off this culture war stuff because it's just divisive and it's forcing. I mean, I've had so many contacts over the past few hours from people who are as concerned as I am that we are using this culture war battleground for no good effect at all. And we're actually hurting people, and we shouldn't be doing that as Conservatives. That's not the Conservative Party I joined, and I think we're better than that.
Have you had much support from fellow Conservatives after yesterday's news?
Well, an absolutely vast amount, may I say. I'm struggling to respond to all the support that has been shown to me. So if anybody's hearing and all they've got from me is a terse "thanks very much" reply, I apologise, but that's all I've had the time to do.
Does this make you question your membership or future with the Conservatives, Andrew?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
And so
I think, Pete, the Conservative Party just needs to continually remind itself of what we are about. We are a one nation party that serves everyone. And if we carry on like that, there's no problem.
OK, just lastly, you're smart enough to know and read the runes. There does appear to be a few candidates positioning themselves to be the next leader of the party if they come up short at some point next year. Suppose Suella Braverman were to be leader of the party. What would that do for your membership?
Luckily, that's not going to happen.
How can you say that, Andrew?
I believe in the ultimate common sense of the party, right. and also I very much hope that Suella Braverman learns about the power of her words and moderates her tone.
Kemi Badenoch, lastly, is the bookist favourite. As and when would you support Kemi?
Look, I'd support whoever is elected for Conservative leader. That's the that is the deal when you join a Conservative party. When you join a party, you support that party. You can't join a party and then support someone else.
Okay. Are they letting you back in today?
No, they are not. No, I think it's next year before I'll be let back in.
So would you have wanted to sit in on the PM speech today?
Not particularly. I haven't done that since John Major did his Back to Basics speech, and I thought, oh no, that's not a good
Well, just a couple of years to go, and you'll have your half-century of conferences, Andrew. We'll have to bake you a cake or something like that, won't we?
That would be great, and you could probably send it to me in jail by then, I suppose.
With a file in it. Good speaking with you, Andrew. Safe journey home. Andrew Boff is chair of the London Assembly, who was removed. I can use the words forcibly. He didn't offer any resistance from the Home Secretary's speech. You'll want to comment on that. Thanks, Andrew. 8:42. David in Glasgow has been hanging on the line. David, your reaction? I don't think that's what you want from a political party, is it?
Yeah. What I was going to say, Nick, that this is nothing new with conferences. I remember Blair putting someone out with the Blair speech, and it was an elderly gentleman.
That was a very famous anti-war heckler, and I think it was at the Labour Party conference in Brighton. The gentleman's name, I think, was Walter somebody, but that was, of course, Tony Blair. I don't know necessarily we want that level of executive control in the Conservatives, do you, David? What do you think?
No, not really, because the Conservative party's always been a great party. I've been a Conservative for years. And when I saw that many years ago, the old guy getting removed, I thought that could never happen. The Conservative Party would never do that. So it was a bit of a revelation when that happened to that poor man.
And your reaction to it, lastly?
My reaction, well, it shouldn't have happened, Shouldn't have happened. Anyway, that's my...
I agree with you. It shouldn't have happened. And I think it's appalling. I have to say, Suella Braverman has actually called for him to be allowed back into the conference. I think he said he doesn't know necessarily he wants to go, but even he can't get in anyway.